Hey Procrastinators! Today I'm going to be sharing one of my cards that I made with the new Create and Inkspire kit. You can get this kit from createandinkspire.com. I will link that down below. This is Courtney Krieber's new website that is an online publication, and every month there will be a new card kit, as well as new videos and blog posts and just new exclusive content to the members. So be sure to check out that website and get your subscription today so you can get the new exclusive content. You will get a slight discount on the kit if you are a member to the website as well. So I started off with the Tonic Nuvo, actually it's Craft Perfect, I lie, the Craft Perfect watercolor paper that was included in the kit, and the Nuvo Shimmer Powder, which is Sunray Crosset. I'm probably butchering that, but anyway, and put it on the Nuvo paper, or the Tonic watercolor paper, and started spraying it with my Nuvo water sprayer. I ended up going pretty heavy on the water because that's what I usually do with my shimmer powders, but this ended up being a really light pale color, so I went in again with some of the shimmer powder and went a little less heavy with the water so I could actually get some of that color through. Then I took the stencil, the Wildflower Meadow stencil that's included in the kit, and Courtney designed this herself, and I put it over my watercolor paper, taped it down, and now I taped down the two edges because there were some little wildflower bits that hung over the edge, and I wanted the full, only the ones that were going to be full on there. So I taped those off, and I taped the paper down to my stencil, and then I started ink blending the colors that I wanted to have through the stencil. And I decided to do a little bit of a variegated colors of orange and red and yellow, and I'm popping them up on the screen for you because I'm not going to remember what colors I used. So I did skip the duplicated ones that I did, like I did one on each side. So I'm just skipping the second side for you so you don't have to watch the repetitive bits, and that way we can speed through this a little bit quicker because it is pretty repetitive. I did use a smaller brush so I could get into those little tiny areas. Now, if you don't want your colors to contaminate, you want them to be the actual color that you're blending on here, I do suggest wiping your stencil off in between. I did not do that. I didn't really care because yellow and orange and red, they're all just kind of mix well together. But if you're using colors that are going to make mud, I highly suggest wiping off your stencil. So now I'm just pulling it off here to reveal the ink blended piece. I'm going to show you how the shimmer powder in the background is all shimmery. I didn't catch it real good today, but you know, sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. So you do see the yellow and the red in the shimmer powder in the background, but I kind of wanted to make it look a little bit more purposeful. Kind of made it look like my stencil bled a little bit. So I am taking some of those distress inks that I ink blended through the stencil, and I'm splattering them on my background here. I never show the white part of my mat because my lights are pretty bright, and it makes the white part of my mat kind of blinding. So that's why you can't see the ink that I smushed on my mat. Now I'm just taking my anti-static powder tool, prepping the area, and I'm going to heat emboss one of the sentiments from the Wildflower sentiment stamp set that is included in the kit. And I'm going to heat emboss that in a copper embossing powder that I have from the Personal Stamp Exchange. Some of you old-time stampers will probably remember that company. I still have some of their embossing powders that I've had forever, but they still work great, so no sense in chucking them. So I did stamp that a couple times because this watercolor paper is quite textured, and I wanted to make sure that I got a good impression. You even saw me holding it up to the light there to make sure that I did get a good impression. And now I'm just going to heat emboss that off screen. And then off screen, I also cut myself a mat. This is some Craft Perfect Classic Card in pumpkin orange that is not included in the kit. I just have some on hand from some tonic kits that I used to get. So I just decided to grab that. I decided that the orange would go really well with my ink blended colors that I have going on here. And I just cut that slightly bigger than my panel here, so I have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around my panel. If you've been here before, you know that I like to do that. I usually do it in black, but I decided the orange would work well. So then of course we've got to finish off the inside of the card here. So I picked, I believe it's spice marmalade and squeezed lemonade to ink blend the stencil on the inside here. And if you can see on the left hand side here, my tape kind of came up a little bit, so when we get done you will see that I have a slight smudge where I had taped off that edge of that flower or leaf or whatever's underneath there. I can't really remember at the moment, but whichever piece I taped off there, it did get a little bit of ink on my card, but we're gonna fix that up. So I did want some lighter colors here on the inside because of course we are gonna write to the recipient here. You want to be able to write over the whatever you put on the inside here. So there's my little smudge there, and we're just going to stamp the sentiment over the top of that, and it's going to cover most of it up. It's not going to cover all of it, but it will cover most of it up. At this point I had already tried my sand eraser and it really didn't take that off, but as you can see the T covers most of it up. I did put it where like the top of the T and the cross section of the T kind of like so most of the T would cover it up anyway, is the point I'm trying to make. So here is a final look at the card. I think it turned out pretty well. The shimmer is kind of a nice nice offset to the messiness I got going on there with the splatter and everything. So that finishes off the card for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out Create and Inkspire. The links will be in the description box below. And as always, have a great day.